I'm going to introduce your panelists for today. First up is Jerry, or Groovy Guy Jerry, cosplaying as Hootie. Next is Katie, or Katie Chaos Pixie, as Princess Anna. Tabby, Spark of Revolution, as I don't know what this character is. From Yu-Gi-Oh! And last but not least, a very special guest, our crown champion, Beth Amazonian Cosplay as Sansa! And I cannot go last but not least, my wonderful assistant, our timekeeper, and the one who will keep all of us honest throughout all this, Robin! Are you guys ready? Do you all know the rules of Just a Minute? They must talk on a subject of my choosing for a minute without repetition, deviation, or hesitation, which I would clearly be rubbish at. So I'm glad I'm not doing it. Can I have a buzzer test, team? Let's get started. So, our first topic is when the sewing machine makes that noise, and it goes to Jerry.
So when the sewing machine makes that noise, you have several options in front of you. One is to plow forward, just cranking on that foot pedal as far and as hard as it will go. Or, second, you can just turn the handle, take it gently, and still.
That's Tabby. Repetition, I'll allow it. That's a point to Tabby. And you have the subject for 45 more seconds.
What was the subject?
When the sewing machine makes that noise.
When the sewing machine makes that noise, the cloud covers my eyes and I start to cry very, very deeply because there is only one thing.
Jerry. Repetition of very, that's a point to Jerry. Thank you very much. And you have the subject back for, oh God, maths, 35 seconds.
So whenever the machine makes that noise, the thing that I like to turn to is taking my stress out, straight out on the bobbin on top of the machine. I just rip it off the machine, throw it across the room.
That's Katie. Repetition of machine, I'll allow it.
Is the question not when the machine makes that
noise?
noise?
It is, it's in the topic. Oh.
I know
I'm
the
sorry,
rules.
I'm sorry. That is the rule. They are correct, I'm sorry.
I'd be sorry.
Oh, okay. But, okay. It's on the topic. Jerry, you may continue, but I'm still going to give a point to Katie for confusion. So, you have 25 seconds. Off you go.
The bobbin goes flying across the room, and that will give me enough time to be distracted long enough to wind it all up. And by that time, I will be fully calmed down to assess the problem with the machine thoughtfully.
Tabby. Repetition of bobbin and time, that's correct. Point to Tabby. You have the subject for 15 seconds.
What's the subject again?
When the machine makes that noise.
When the machine makes that noise, I find that the bobbin that has gone flying across the room is often the least of my issues, and instead I am looking at the foot pedal, crying and wondering, what shall I do at this moment in time? Because normally it is smoking, because that's what I find breaks most.
And that's it, a minute. Tabby was speaking when the minute finished, which means they get a point. I'm sorry, Beth, I'm sorry. Well done. Our next subject goes to Katie, which is the highs. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to give that to somebody else. Oh. Okay, I'm going to give this one to Katie. Your worst cosplay build moment. You have a minute on your worst cosplay build moment. Off you go.
My worst cosplay build moment was during London Comecon at Ollie's house, trying to make a Rapunzel in the evening at night when I should have been sleeping, and I was sewing lights into a skirt that was a horrible shape that didn't fit me, a corset that didn't suit my body type.
Beth, hesitation, I'll allow it. Okay, so Beth, you have the subject for 35 seconds. Your worst cosplay build moment.
So my worst cosplay build moment is one of my costumes is completely cursed. I've tried 5 different times to do a photo shoot, and every single time something goes wrong with it. It's whether the wig...
No, I didn't hear it. Did anyone else hear it? Repetition? The audience agrees. Beth, you may continue. You still have 25 seconds. Off you go.
So my wig stopped working, so I had big horns on the wig, and they fell off, and they couldn't get them working.
Oh God, who do you think that was first? Tabby was first. A repetition of wig?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wig. It's okay. So the subject is your worst cosplay build moment.
Thank you for telling me that before I started.
And you have 20 seconds. Off you go.
My worst cosplay build moment was when I decided to use reenactment grade brass metal straps on a piece of foam armor which would not hold those objects in any way, shape or form. I first decided to use hot glue because that is my favorite adhesive of choice, which ended terribly, as anyone who has worked with bronze
That's a minute. Tabby, you're doing very well. You were speaking as the minute went. So you get another point. And you have the next subject, which is...
No.
And you're gonna like this one, cosplay hacks. Hacks for your cosplay. You have a minute, off you go.
My favorite cosplay hacks is the use of magnets. Oh, I just did that myself. I'm gonna give that up, I don't deserve anything.
Okay, then I will give the subject to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I'm gonna give it to Derry. That was a
What was the subject?
Cosplay hacks. I love how much you guys are paying attention, it's great.
There are some very common used cosplay hacks, most notably hot glue being the one that most people turn to. The quick use of the hot glue to adhese. Yep, I heard it myself.
I'm going to give that to Katie. Repetition of hot glue?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, and the subject is cosplay hacks. Off you go.
My favorite cosplay hack is watching YouTube and finding lots of little tutorials to help me along in the build of a costume and
Yeah. Jerry, hesitation? Okay. You have 30 seconds. Cosplay hacks. Off you go.
Hot glue is what most people turn to. However, you should never apply this directly to your body. There have been many scars and blisters adorned when using this.
Beth, I'm assuming you were buzzing. You put it in your mouth. Hesitation? Yeah, there we go. Okay, you're like, your brain just short-circuited there for a second. I'm not surprised. You've had a long weekend.
I've had a long weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the subject of cosplay hacks for 18 seconds. You ready? Off you go.
So one of my favourite cosplay hacks is really just an act of my laziness. I hate sewing with a machine, and I will much rather use a needle and thread to put my lining to my dress, and it takes so much more time than doing the machine.
Oh, you were so close. 4 seconds. Tabby.
We're all really self-aware, and it's my favorite part of this so far. None of us can fake it.
No.
Sorry, the
All right.
subject is?
Cosplay hacks. You have 4 seconds. Off you go.
My favorite cosplay hack is Velcro because it goes on everything and solves all of your
That's
problems.
a minute. Well done, Tabby. You just come in at the end, you're like a shark. All right, I know. And Beth, you have the subject now. The highs and lows of competitive cosplay. I had to save it for you, I'm sorry. Are you ready? A minute starts now.
I've been doing competitive cosplay for 6 to 7 years now. And there are some very big highs and lows. There are some highs like yesterday where you can go up on stage and you can win competitions. And then there are the lows where it's 2 a.m. the night before the competition and you are sewing your costume. It's in the title.
It's in the title, competition, yeah. Okay. Well done though, good listening.
Like a
You're paying
teacher at
attention
school.
now.
Like, good listening.
Right, you get a gold star. Well done. Okay, Beth, you may continue. The subject is the highs and lows of competitive cosplay. You have 40 seconds.
We've all been there. Anyone who does competitive cosplay has been there where it's 2 a.m. the night before and you are sewing your costume.
Jerry, that's
Yeah.
allowed. You're allowed joining words. You have been there. Was that the whole phrase? 2 a.m. Oh.
I thought it was fine to finish my
Contentious.
sentence, but you know.
All right, Jerry, thank you. The highs and lows of competitive cosplay. You have 35 seconds. Off you go.
Everyone knows that with the highs of the competitive cosplay, the larger the competition, the larger the high. The smaller the competition, the lower the low. However, there is much to be said about the middle ground of entering a competition, that you will get much high, not from the competition element of it, but from the community that you've made.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Tabby.
Hesitation.
Oh, I think it was hesitation. I think so. Yeah. All right. The highs and lows of competitive cosplay. You have 15 seconds. Off you go.
The highs and lows of competitive cosplay are fascinating. The lows of competitive cosplay involve shaking so much that you're trying to take selfies after having competed in a competitive cosplay competition, and you are incapable of doing so because you are dropping your
That's a
phone
minute.
on the ground.
What are you like? You little sniper. Well done, Tabby.
I'm sorry!
And the next question is Con Crunch, and that goes to Jerry, who I feel like knows a lot about this subject. You have a minute on Con Crunch. Off you go.
Con Crunch is something that I am very familiar with. If you look at myself right now, this was a flash decision that I made at the start of the week to decide to jump in and create an entirely new costume, but not just that, a puppet on top of that as well. I have travelled from Milton Keynes to Swansea, back to London. I have had a lend of sewing machines from people. I have assaulted the cosplay repair station for fabric and threads. They are very familiar with me now, but it is most important that whilst you're doing this, that you have maintained safety within.
Beth? Deviation, I think so, yeah. I think so. All right, and the subject goes to Beth. So this is Con Crunch. You have 25 seconds. Off you go.
Con Crunch is a big thing for cosplayers, as we all say we're not going to do it. We all say we're going.
Well done, Tabby. All right, Tabby has the subject.
Never con crunched before, so
You'll just go for it, wing it. You'll be fine. All right, you have 20 seconds. Off you go.
The only time I've ever con crunched in my life was in 2008 for Baltimore Convention Otakon. The con crunching involved trying to make an outfit for Magi the Labyrinth, in which I had to make a scarf that goes around the lower part of my body, and only a scarf, which you think would not be difficult.
I think that's going to go to, oh, I don't know, Jerry? Jerry, okay, sorry. I was looking at, you have 0.5 of a second. Off you go.
Super glue.
And that's a minute. Well done, Jerry. And the next subject, which goes to Katie, is feeling overdressed on the tube. Traveling to convention, so feeling overdressed on a tube. You have a minute. Should we change it to feeling overdressed on public transport? Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling overdressed on public transport.
Just
then.
one question.
Yes.
Before we start.
Yeah.
Public transport doesn't include planes.
It does include planes.
Wonderful.
I'll include planes because that's funny. Let's go. All right. You have a minute. Off you go.
Feeling overdressed on public transport was the time in 2016 when I went on a plane dressed as Arwen from Lord of the Rings, complete with elf ears and wigs, going through security at Heathrow Airport, getting asked if I had the One Ring in my bag. Obviously I wouldn't have because I was dressed as Arwen. Getting my picture taken by lots of people in the airport, in the departures terminal, at the gate, and in the gangway.
Yep.
Hesitation, but I
I'm
really
gonna
want
give
to
it.
hear the rest of
You
the
were
story.
doing really well.
I'm
but
really enjoying this.
hopefully
Don't
we'll hear the
take
rest of
the
that
mic
story
now.
later. Okay, Jerry, you have 30 seconds.
What's my subject again?
Feeling overdressed on public transport. You ready? Off you go.
Overdressed on a public transport system, particularly buses, I find, is where you get the most stares and questions about. There are plenty of questionable people on buses as is, particularly if you're travelling back from a convention at the middle of the night, when you know most people are turning in from drinking out heavily, and people will not be in the right state of mind to assess what you are wearing.
Beth. Deviation. Oh, I think so. Yeah. Beth, you have 5 seconds. Feeling overdressed on public transport. Off you go.
2 years ago, when coming to MCM, I was dressed as Wonder Woman on the tube, and it was really not an.
That's a minute. Well done. Yay! You have more than 1 point. You get a point for a correct challenge. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry. Okay, and the next subject goes to Tabby, and the subject is something very close to your heart. It's Homestuck. You have a minute. Are you ready?
Okay.
Off you go.
Homestuck is a webcomic written by Andrew Hussey that started about 2008, and if you were in the convention scene at any point around this time, you may have noticed the uptick in people buying grey paint and slathering it on their bodies. There are a variety of types of grey paint you can have for Homestuck.
Yes? Grey paint. Correct. This is going to be funny. I don't know how much the rest of you know.
Nothing.
Oh. Off you go. You have 40 seconds on the subject of Homestuck. Off you go.
On the subject of Homestuck, it's clearly a lovely comic made in grey. And that's all I know.
Tabby. Hesitation. I also think deviation because it's not a lovely comic at all. Are you ready?
No.
Oh no, we've broken them. We've broken Tabby.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
You've got 30 seconds. Off you go.
Homestuck is a comic about 12 trolls who recreate the universe, but there's actually 8 different timelines associated with these characters, and there are also humans involved who may or may not destroy the Earth. There are 4 characters who are from this planet who are playing a game which is akin to Dungeons and Dragons or a video game, which seems to be the part where the world is destroyed. The most fascinating part of Homestuck is that the gods that are developed in this world are based on the Gnostic deities Yaldabaoth and Abraxas, and they are the bosses.
That's a minute. Well done. Don't worry, there is one in here for all of you. Don't worry. I just like to make you all squirm. It's fine. No. All right, Beth.
Nothing.
Beth, are you ready?
Oh, is it me?
Your specialist subject is
Oh,
next.
God, what is it?
Heroes of Cosplay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Your minute starts now.
Heroes of Cosplay was a TV show that ran from 2014 to 2015. It was originally called Yaya's World of Cosplay and was meant to be centered around said Yaya Han, one queen of cosplay. It follows a group of competitive cosplayers all around America as they compete in various competitions and lose most of them. They do lots of con crunching and not finishing their costumes in time. There's lots of bitchiness and drama. There are some iconic lines such as, "I am not the queen of cosplay, I am considered the ambassador of cosplay." And there are incidents such as magnetized pieces falling off their head or not magnetized.
You were doing so well.
I need to stop swearing.
This is a family show. Please consider the audience. All right, Tabby.
I actually just wanted to hear the rest of it because I also watched Heroes of Cosplay with my parents, and I feel that we need to start maybe like a stress support group about it. So we'll take sign-ups at the end of this panel.
I think
if
so.
it's okay.
I'd like to also join this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that would be
great.
That would be fantastic.
Also, if you haven't watched it, you should, just for the chaos. Please do. All right, Tabby, you have the subject for 20 seconds. Heroes of Cosplay. Off you go.
My favorite part of Heroes of Cosplay was when one of the contestants sat there and talked about how people who did not wear wigs with their costumes were inferior to other people who were, in fact, wearing something on their heads, which helped the character and to actually look like the design. Then I mentioned...
That's a minute. Oh, well done, well done. And the subject goes to Jerry. Are you okay? Can you... There you go. The kazoo just disappeared into Hootie and I don't like it. Your subject is your first convention. So my first convention is the subject. Are you ready?
All right.
You have a minute, off you go.
My first convention was held in Belfast at QCon at Queen's University Student Union. It was hosted by the Dragon Slayers video game group. It was the most chaotic and enjoyable experience I can remember of my young life. Why am I so much louder? Sorry, that is...
Hesitation.
Yeah.
Hesitation, yeah, and I think it was the mic being turned up. You're okay, you're okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, don't worry. The subject is my first convention. You have 40 seconds.
Too long.
It's okay, off you go.
My first convention was in 2006, where my sister and I attended ZenkaiCon in Pennsylvania, dressed as Edward Elric and Lust from Full Metal Alchemist. This was the first cosplay I had ever bought, and the first, just take it off of me.
I'm going to give that to Beth. I think it was the first to actually buzz. And so you have the 25 seconds on the subject of my first convention. Off you go.
My first convention was Collectomania Milton Keynes, which is an unfortunate event if anyone has ever attended that. I was 14 years old and I was going with some friends from school. I'd recently become acquainted with a live journal blog all about Doctor Who costuming, and I decided, yes, I can do that. So I decided to make an Amy Pond... I don't think I said decided.
I only said it once. I didn't hear it. That's fine, that's fine. That's an incorrect challenge.
So I recently became acquainted with...
Okay. Beth, you keep the subject. You have 7 seconds.
It was my first ever armour. I had still drying PVA glue on me at the convention. It was absolutely horrendous. Bits were falling off me.
Hey, well done. And the subject goes to Katie. Styling wigs. Are you ready?
No, not
Can
really.
you talk for a minute on styling wigs?
Well, I could if nobody buzzed in.
Your minute starts now.
Styling wigs, oh the joy. I started styling wigs when I didn't want to pay somebody else to do it for me, and I don't know what else
Tabby.
to say.
Hesitation, there you go. And Katie is free. All right, you have a minute.
Relax now, like, no, I'm done with this. Oh, fine. You know what, that's bad.
You have 50 seconds on styling wigs. Off you go.
Styling wigs is a fantastic experience for any cosplayer. I personally enjoy styling wigs for Yu-Gi-Oh characters, which involves a lot of foam core making, taking wefts, which I normally purchase from Coscraft, and then PVAing them to the base that you have created for your wig. Part of this then involves stitching that creation to the base wig, involving a saddle needle and the best thread that you can find. Otherwise, you will be struggling in the future. Many of these wigs that involve being styled have to have multiple colors on them, which involves buying multiple wigs.
Yeah, I think we have, you're right, yep. Tabby was styling it out.
I left it too late to buzz in.
You have 9 seconds left on styling wigs. Off you go.
I am very bad at styling wigs. The night before this convention, we were in my hotel room and my friend was chopping chunks off of this wig because I don't...
That's a minute. Hey, well done.
Taking your sniping duties.
It's getting very competitive on this end of the row.
I'm not competitive at all. What are you talking about?
All right. Tabby, you have the subject? The subject is my dream cosplay.
Okay, at least it's not Homestuck.
No,
so.
it's fine. I've already tortured you enough. It's okay. You ready? You have a minute on
Yes.
my dream cosplay, starting now.
My dream cosplay is from Trinity Blood. I would absolutely love to make Seth as my dream cosplay. The costume would involve a very large green and white hat that has a severe amount of embellishments on it for what I ascertain as no good reason. The rest of the cosplay is actually fairly simple. It involves stockings, a blouse, and shorts that resemble pumpkin pants. The main issue, however, is that large carapace that requires to go on the top of my head. It is very bedazzled and bejeweled, and it has a number of stones on it which seem to resemble precious gemstones. And I really like the character and would love to have this as my dream cosplay, because she was the first personage that I saw in a manga who had the same haircut as me, which is short, black, and choppy, which is something that you do not see very often, or at that time I was not aware of.
So you get a minute for speaking when, you get a point for speaking when the minute was up, and an extra point for speaking for the entire minute. Congratulations. I'm done. You're done. It's your turn.
Is it my turn?
Your turn to start.
Oh God, what is it?
The subject is photo shoots. Yeah? Okay.
Sure.
You have a minute to talk on photo shoots. Off you go.
Photo shoots are a great thing to do for cosplayers. They really elevate your costume. It's not just wearing it at the convention. You can go to incredible locations to do photo shoots. I've been lucky enough to do some photo shoots in...
Oh, Tabby.
I'm so sorry.
Hesitation?
Yes.
Okay. You have 45 seconds on photo shoots. Off you go.
Photo shoots are a fantastic experience, not only for getting pictures of your costume that you enjoy, but also for having a wonderful time with your friends. A lot of these photo shoots, as was previously mentioned, involve going to different places, and that is a great experience in itself. But doing that with other people, with your buddies, is an even better time to be had. Going to a wonderful architectural location that has...
Yeah. Location twice, yep, very well done. And you have 15 seconds on the subject of photo shoots. Come on, Katie. Ready?
Yes.
Off you go.
Photo shoots are also very important that you keep safe and stay away from creepy people who want to take photos of things like your feet and...
It's not working, oh no. Beth, there we go. VPEX. I mean, it's deviation in a very specific way, I think.
I was just trying to keep people safe.
I am going to allow a point for an amusing interruption, but I'm going to keep the subject with Katie. You have 5 seconds. Off you go.
There's also a lot of consent involved. Always make sure that you're the one calling the shots.
That's a minute. Well done, Katie. You get a point for when the minute finished. And the subject goes to Jerry. And the subject is cosplay drama. Beth's ready. She's ready. She's.
Let me open up my file of facts here.
Are you ready?
Never.
You have a minute. Off you go.
Cosplay drama seems like something that you can never really avoid at events. It seems to be prevalent wherever you go, wherever you may be, whether it is online or at a physical location or convention. The main thing to do when you hear cosplay drama is to run very far away, for lest you get swept up in it by some vague participation by simply just being in the area, for being someone that should have known about the drama months before you ever met this person for the first time. It is even harder to tell what drama is going on, particularly when people are wearing specific costumes that you've never seen before, or characters, let alone the individual themselves that the drama is centered around. You may be completely lost, but having that sneaky photograph taken of the drama that is happening.
Beth, hesitation, that's correct. You have 10 seconds. How much can you do in 10 seconds?
Not enough.
All right,
I've got so
10
much to
seconds
say.
on cosplay drama. Off you go.
I am no stranger to cosplay drama. It is very prevalent in the world of competitive cosplay. There are dramas including who's won, whether people have cheated, whether the judges have
That's a minute. Yeah, well done, well done. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Katie, you're next.
I chose the wrong costume for today. I can't breathe.
I'm all right. I don't know about you guys. It's fine. I'm really comfy. Okay. Your subject is your go-to background TV for crafting. Your go-to background, should we say media? Go-to background media for crafting, okay?
I'm not sure that's child-friendly.
Well, make it child-friendly. You have a minute, off you go.
My favorite background media for crafting is watching certain shows on YouTube where certain people...
Certain, yeah.
Thank you.
I saved you from that one again. All right, no worries, I got you.
All right, are you ready?
No.
You ready? All right, off you go.
My favorite media for background crafting is Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, one of my all-time favorite shows, and I am not doing this to be ironic because I am here in the cosplay from the series. I am doing it because you don't need to pay attention to it as a show, which means I can have it on my phone behind my sewing machine and sit there and thread my material through, do the cutting on it, and also not be paying attention in the slightest because everyone knows how to summon monsters on a duel field, and at the end of the day, the good guys are going to win. So there's very little I have to pay attention to.
Yeah, attention twice. I think you might actually have said it 3 times, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, do it. Just save Tabby, just save them. Right. You have 10 seconds on the subject of background media to watch when crafting. Off you go.
Background media to watch when crafting is when people undead themselves by someone else.
I think that was hesitation.
Yes. I was trying to think of a way to phrase it without...
Yeah, yeah. I need to know what you watch now. Oh yeah, no, that's not very family friendly. Yeah, okay. Jerry, you ready? You have 7 seconds. Off you go.
When selecting your background media to watch, it is important not to watch something brand new, otherwise you'll be completely invested in what is on the screen.
That's a minute. Okay, well, I think that's your first time talking when the minute ended. Well done. Okay, our next subject is we've had our worst con experience, your best con experience. Tabby, you ready? Anne, you ready? Okay, you have a minute on my best con experience. Off you go.
My best con experience was the first time I went to UK Comics in Italy. The convention takes over the entire medieval city, and it is a 5-day long celebration of anime, video games, Dungeons and Dragons, and everything in between. The reason why it is my best convention experience is because you are in a Renaissance citadel, which is an absolutely phenomenal place to do photo shoots safely and not involving feet, and also to hang out with your friends. The reason why it is the best con experience for me is that it's the food. Italy has this fantastic food called a piadina, which you can only eat at this specific event, which is why it is my best convention memory. The other thing about the event is that the Villa Fano, which is in it, has the most amazing architecture and history that you can use.
I think I'm going to give that to Jerry. Repetition of architecture, you are correct. You have 3 seconds. You were so close. I really want to go to Luca now. You've sold it. All right, Jerry, you have 3 seconds on my best con experience. Off you go.
My best con experience was NomCon in Dublin in 2008.
That's the minute. Well done. All right, and this is going to be our last subject. Beth, are you ready? It's you.
Good.
1 second. I now have to pick one. I want to pick a good one. Okay, our last subject is going to be when you finally cosplay your fave. Are you ready?
Yes.
You have a minute, off you go.
So today I am cosplaying my fave. I have been wanting to cosplay this character for 3 years now, since the show ended, and I have spent those I didn't want to say years again.
Tabby. Hesitation.
Yeah,
At sadness, it's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
You get it back. Prep. Okay. Are you ready, Tabby? You have 50 seconds on the subject of finally cosplaying your fave. Off you go.
When you finally cosplay your fave, there is a wonderful, warm sensation in your heart. My experience of getting to cosplay my fave was when my sister and I finally sat down and made Saint Seiya cosplays. We created the Gold Saint armors from this 1980s show.
Yeah. Yeah, I could just see you looking at me and I'm like, I don't want to say yes, but at the same time, like, don't stare at me, guys, it's weird.
I'm not sure where we sit
No.
on names.
Names of rep count, yeah. No,
All right,
you're
cool,
right.
cool,
Okay,
cool.
so you have 30 seconds on finally cosplaying your fave. Off you go.
As mentioned before, there's a deep emotional experience that you can have when you finally cosplay your fave. For me, that was going to ArcadeCon in Dublin and getting to cosplay Simon from Adventure Time. I had to stay up in the bedroom a little bit longer to do all of the body paint, but when I came down, my young friend cosplaying as Marcy came running over to me going, "Simon, it's you!" And the emotional wave that swept over me then took me to the floor.
Tabby? Hesitation, yeah. You did also repeat Simon. Yeah.
I was like, do names count? I was like, not sure.
Yeah, there.
Everything
Only
counts.
the subject you're not allowed to repeat, yeah.
Brilliant, okay.
Okay, you have 5 seconds. Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready at all.
This is going to be chaotic.
Wait, so it's fave when you finally cosplay your fave.
Yeah, that's it. Finally cosplay your fave. Off you go.
When you finally cosplay your fave, it is a great experience, but there is none better than when your friends also finally cosplay your
That's the
fave
minute.
with you.
Well done, Tabby. We're going to do a final scores check. Okay. And in 4th, coming up at the rear, it was a really well done. It's Katie. Big round of applause. In joint 2nd is Jerry and Beth. Well done. And in a runaway lead with an outstanding performance is Tabby. Congratulations. Thank you everyone for coming and competing today. This was wonderful, and thank you so much for watching this chaos. I don't know why you stayed, but thank you. This has been Just a Minute. My name is Ollie, and our lovely, can you please give a round of applause for my lovely scorekeeper and timer, Robin? And have an amazing rest of con. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for a wonderful panel of guests there. Please don't go anywhere.